Hello everyone and welcome to Insurance Business TV. I'm Paul Lucas, IB's managing editor, and if you're an insurance broker serving the market today, chances are you've come across a lot of managing general agents, or MGAs for short. An MGA, of course, is one type of wholesale broker and operates on the insurer's behalf while also working closely with clients to attend to their needs. In theory, they can possess expertise that insurers may not have and often focus in on those specialist lines of business, such as construction. But what separates the best MGAs from the pack? On this edition of IBTV, we're welcoming a man who is very much an authority on the subject. Not only is he the president and CEO of Chess Special Risk, which was this year voted a 5-star construction insurance provider by Insurance Business readers, but he is also the president of the Canadian Association of Managing General Agents. That man is Gary Hirst. Gary, welcome to IBTV and congratulations to Chess on scooping the 5-star construction award. Tell us what's special about your relationship with brokers.
Hi, Paul. Thank you for that. I think the relationship with the brokers comes back to previous experiences and previous life. I guess in 25 years of broking business certainly teaches you how you would like an underwriter to interact with you. So we put a great deal of effort into service and response. We don't like voicemail. We love an email, we love a phone call, we love talking to the brokers, and we're very service orientated.
Yeah, thanks, Gary. And you mentioned service there. I mean, is that what you think makes you stand out from other MGAs in the market?
We've taken quite a lot away from insurance business surveys, actually, and we've really looked at the survey responses that we've had back and concentrated on the number one feature that seems to always come up, which is service. The brokers are very time sensitive. Insurance is always a buy that's done right at the very last moment. No one really ever seems to plan ahead. So when the brokers are coming in asking for a quote, that's our golden hour, if you like, of being able to look at the submission, understand the submission, phone the broker, or indeed, hopefully just be able to give a quote. And within that time frame, the brokers are then looking to bind and move on to the next one. So we focus a great deal on that, and our underwriters are well trained in that service orientation. Experience is important as well. So regarding the Construction 5-star award, we have a number of construction specialists here at Chess, which we find also cuts down the back and forth between the broker, because we understand the nature of the project, we understand what we think the broker or the insured want in terms of coverage, and then it's just a case of coming up with a price, coming up with terms and conditions.
And of course, you also have employees around the world. Tell us how that translates into the service that you're offering in Canada. And why is that an advantage?
What we've been very lucky in is attracting talent from all parts of the world. And when we say from all around the world, we actually mean the new talent coming into Canada. So what we're looking at there is a lot of new Canadians, new immigrants coming into the country that have got a skill set from different parts of the world. We've got people that have joined us from the Middle East, from the Far East, and they've all had experience in the construction industry, and it's from very, very large projects such as dams and roads and bridges to infrastructure projects. Here at Chess, we're very much involved in infrastructure type construction. regrettably not as large as some of the projects that we've looked at internationally in previous experience. But it's those experiences that help us communicate with our brokers, because we've all been in that situation previously, but it just so happens in a different country and a different environment.
There have been some issues surrounding MGAs too, haven't there? I mean, policy issuance has been a sort of a key point of contention among brokers as well. Some providers are taking 8 to 10 weeks to issue a policy, we've heard. How are you addressing those concerns?
It's probably our largest area of expenditure, which is software systems. It's very topical at the moment. Data capture. We're finding that our partner insurers require more and more data. So we invested very early on in a software system that would capture data, but then also be able to translate that data into policy wordings and declaration pages and invoicing and statements. So we've invested heavily in technology, which is for us a one-touch system. So the data is put in by one person. It then goes all the way through the system to the different parts of the workflow that it takes to issue a policy. So obviously we need to produce the policy, we need to produce an invoice, we need to produce a broker statement, etc. And all of that is done within seconds of the data going into the system. So we use a lot of compliance as well. Compliance, we think, is a good thing because it makes us do various functions of our workflow. And quite frankly, as soon as the firm order comes in from the broker, it's only really 3 steps that it takes to issue a policy. And we find that where we're quoting construction business, we're actually able to issue a policy within 48 hours of being told that we've got the firm order and we need to issue. That time frame we find works very well with the brokers and their clients, because, as I say, insurance is usually a last minute purchase. They usually need it to give to the banks to lend the money, or maybe there's a new investor coming in on a project and they need that documentation quickly. So that's part of the service that we hope we provide.
Let's talk a little bit about the market more generally. How do you see this double whammy of a COVID recovery and a hardening market playing out over the next 12 months or so?
A lot of people think that I'm a bit of a doomsayer, but I really don't see things changing a great deal. There has been a period of where brokers and MGAs are all getting used to this hardening market. And I feel that certainly from a chess perspective, we're fully aware of what the hard market means to us in terms of what we can provide, and we communicate that through to the brokers. I don't think that the Canadian market has really seen the full extent of the claims that are coming through because of COVID related activities. Looking at Europe is 2 to 3 months ahead of what's been going on here in North America. We've already seen class actions taking shape. We're seeing regulators being involved in court cases to try and establish condition precedent of policy payments. And that's really only starting its way through here in the Canadian market. Obviously, a lot of insurers have already indemnified policyholders because of COVID-related shutdown. But I think that there are still sectors of the market that haven't been hit. So until those claims are fully matured, I think we're still going to have the hard market environment. Additionally, interest rates do play a factor in insurance. Interest rates are still really, really low. So as a result, the investment returns are not there for the insurance companies to make up for, the lack of pricing that they're getting in a particular package. So I think insurers are now actually operating on the basis of technical underwriting profit because they're not getting the investment returns. And of course, governments and central banks are not in a position where we're all in lockdown. The economy is so slow that they can now put interest rates up. So as a result, I think the technical underwriting profit will still be a primary driver for the insurers, and will, I think, continue this hard market for at least another 2 years.
Just focusing in a little bit on the MGA market, as I mentioned at the top, you are the president of the Canadian Association of Managing General Agents. What issues are on your agenda this year?
The ride of CAMGA and the Canadian MGA Association has been really quite fantastic, and we've seen a huge number of new MGA startups, which is music to the MGA industry ears, really. We need to keep new entrants coming into the marketplace to reinforce the service that MGAs provide. And of course, brokers are always looking for new avenues of capacity to get their placements home. But typically, we've been focused on 3 pillars at the MGA Association. Primary one is education, and we've been working hand in hand with the Insurance Institute here in Canada to develop an MGA-based curriculum, and that's a curriculum that focuses in on brokers as well as MGAs that hold delegated authority. And the Insurance Institute have done a fantastic job in launching that in sort of COVID restricted times. So education, top pillar. Second, really important angle is regulation. We are seeing a lot of national as well as provincial regulators now looking at property casualty MGAs with a regulationary eye on us. And coming from a UK background where regulation is pretty strong, I can see where they're targeting, and that is primarily policyholder protection, which I think is something that we should all be really focused in on. So we're engaged with regulators, talking to them about the offering that P&C MGAs offer. We're talking to them about the codes of conduct or the regulations that we deal with when dealing with insurers, in order to be able to fully inform them of what we think our added value is, but also to help them properly identify the areas that do need some sort of overview and, if I dare say it, regulations. So that activity is really only starting going now. Our last point of the association is just overall awareness of MGAs. The association's done a great job in putting together a directory of products, because we do have quite a few brokers phoning us up and saying, well, I've got this, can you help? Or I've got that, do you know a market? So we've been putting a lot of effort into just general advocacy of MGAs and our members.
Yeah, thank you, Gary. It's been great to get your insights, and obviously it's going to be an exciting year ahead. I really appreciate your time, and our huge congratulations again to Chess Special Risk on scooping a 5-star award. To everybody watching, join us next time for another great guest and more insights on the insurance industry here on Insurance Business TV.